but it looks like we got the one and only Sweet Hands Plant in the building. Damn, with the gallon of water and everything. So you already in like getting in fight shape again, huh? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Good to see you, man. Thank you.
I ain't got to be in camp to do what I'm supposed to do.
For sure. George, I think we got to cut his mic on.
Boom.
So for anybody living under a rock, we are joined by Sweet Hands, Keller Plant. Man, I got to show you what we put together. One of our producers put this together. I didn't even know we were going to have you on the show, but I did lead with this intro, but I got to have you hear it, man. Let me see.
You know, I know it's a compliment, but a lot of times people will say, man, you box good for a white boy.
Caleb, Sweet Hands,
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
But you see, when I sat down on this, I promised myself that I was going to run this all the way to the top, where I had no problem crashing and burning and dying on the way. I want you to keep doing what you're doing and keep not believing in me, because you're the very reason that I'm here.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Now, for a lot of you, that opinion is not validated because you've never stepped between the ropes. You don't know what it's like to get up in front of them people and fight.
It's easy to sit in those seats. It ain't easy to stand up here. Remember that.
So he may have a financial degree, but in boxing, I have a PhD.
We're going to find out Saturday night, though. I promise you that. Down goes the champ.
And he hurt him with that right and left hook.
Man, I've worked my whole entire life for this. 17 years straight. I buried my daughter in the process of trying to get this belt. I promised her that I'd become a world champion and that I'd bring her this title. And that's exactly what I'm going to go back to Tennessee and do. Nashville, stand up!
SDS Promotions.
You know, I'm trying to get 4 belts. He can't
Shout out Brandon and Houston to put that together for us, man. So that's our little tribute to you, man. So it's amazing that you walked into the studio because we've been playing that pretty much all week. But that was the tribute. Now I'm coming in hot, man. You know, everybody's trying to give you hell for the conversation you held with Canelo in the ring. So just take us to it. I mean, they try to criticize you for it, like, as to say that was the reason everything turned around, because instead of focusing on the fight, you're having a conversation in the ring.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
What's your thoughts? What made you talk to him?
Just, you know, feeling comfortable in that moment and just, you know, continuing that comfortable energy, you know, and if you're comfortable enough to have a conversation, then you must be pretty comfortable. So, but I haven't heard too many bad things, just a couple of things like I was really asking him if I'm good, you know what I'm saying? I think if you feel like that, like, you really might not know what sarcasm is, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really asking him if I'm good. I wouldn't be in this ring with him if I wasn't already good. I'm not asking him if I'm good, you know, I'm being sarcastic, you know, so.
For sure.
But.
So I swore you was going to make it to the 12th. I was not expecting a stoppage. I was betting on the distance, and you pretty much were there. Was it his pressure, or is it different on that level? You know, because I don't want to say it seemed like you got tired, but you weren't as fresh as you were in the beginning, obviously popping a jab and moving as much as you was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many times are you going to be as fresh in the 11th as you are in the first, you know? But
tell me about it.
You know, there's a lot of variables that go into, you know, just being in front of that crowd, you know, being trying to be on your P's and Q's, making sure you're sharp, doing everything you need to do. I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into, you know, a big fight like that. And so really he caught me with the left hook. I had my right hand high, but he kind of like scooted over and caught me on the inside. And it was a good shot, but the one that really got me is after that I tried to duck and I ran into an uppercut that I really didn't see coming. So, you know, that's what, you know, dropped me the first time. And just got up and, you know, he got on me quick. I was trying to get away, but he caught me with another shot and, you know, I got clipped. That's what it was. But I felt like, you know, up until that point, you know, I was doing my thing. You know, I'm not going to say I was winning. I thought I was losing 6-4. But, you know, that's one round away from being tied up with who many consider the best boxer of this generation. So I just got to, you know, go back to the drawing board. I've been working on a lot of things and just got to get back in there and, you know, keep the wheels going.
For sure, man. I thought you looked great. Up until that point, a lot of people thought you were winning. I wish I knew you were going to be in studio. I would have had this video up that has been circulating of Floyd Mayweather Sr. I'm hoping that you've seen it so that my lack of preparation doesn't show as much. But Sr. is explaining to another person in the ring how to break down a fighter that uses the shoulder roll, and he says attack the hip. So obviously everybody tried to put little highlights of Canelo attacking the hip to slow you down. Was that the case, or are we just looking too much into it? Or do you think he was holding you down with one hand, which there are a lot of pictures and highlights of that, and attacking your hip, the back, area, things like that?
I mean, he was like pressing on me, and it was kind of turning me, which is kind of illegal. But I mean, he was still landing that body shot to the side, and but that may be one way to break that down. But there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of variables that go into that. So, just because you do that doesn't mean that you go and beat somebody who's fighting like that or standing like that or using the shoulder roll technique in that moment. So, I mean, there's so many variables that go into boxing. It's never ending really.
So again, after that fight, someone put another highlight together of you and Floyd both using the shoulder roll and the counter right on him. You had a lot of success with that early on. Mm-hmm. What made you abandon it towards the end? Was it just fatigue, or did he adjust?
I'm sure that's, adjustments he made, things that I got away from. It's never just one thing, like I said. So I was trying to mix it up and not just maybe keep doing the same thing over and over. But, hindsight's 20/20. So
for sure. So moving into the future and getting past that, I mean, regardless that you lost, I think it was a great performance. You did well up until the knockout, in my opinion. But you had some energy for Jamal Charlo, and you basically went to social media and said you were going to be direct, and you wanted that fight, I believe, for September, right?
Yeah, I didn't put no date on it. I'm just letting him know. I felt like he kept making little comments like, oh, I don't know about that fight with whoever, or, and then, say like another indirect comment. And it's like, if you got something to say, you should just say it to me, because all the indirect comments, that's silly to me. So let me just go ahead and lay it on out there for you. Me and you can fight. And, if you ask me, that's easy work. So,
were you surprised to see his selection of opponent, especially when there was a back and forth with you and he on social media? Then he and Benavidez had a lot of back and forth. Plus, he posted, I'm the biggest super middleweight in the world, and all of a sudden now he's defending at 160 versus Selecki.
I don't know. I'm focused on what I got going on this side, and both of those fights, the Benavidez fight, the Charlo fight, those are both big fights that I want, and I want my rematch with Canelo. And if he says that we need to get to fighting each other, which I had planned on doing anyways, but if I need to beat every other top super middleweight in the division to get my rematch, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, when are you looking for a return? I see you got the gallon of water, so you're definitely staying in shape. When you expected back?
Well, I mean, that's like a year-round thing for me. It's not just something I do when I'm in training camp or, when I got a fight coming up. But, I'm looking to get back in there ASAP. So hopefully by the end of the summer or, something like that, I want to be back in the ring with the biggest fight that I can get. And then right after that, I want to move to Benavidez or Charlo, whatever. Whoever's willing to step to the plate and make it happen, that's the fight that I want.
Okay. So even though you called it the biggest fight that you can get, you said not Charlo or Benavidez. So you want like a tune-up to come back.
Well, I'm not just expecting that I can jump after a loss, being able to jump back right in the biggest fight that's out there. I know that I'm going to have to climb my way back. I may have to get a win or two, hopefully just one, and then I can be right back in the mix with the biggest fights out there. But if I have to work my way back, then I'm willing to do that. I'm not going to sit here and cry and complain that I'm not getting the biggest fights when I just lost. I'm not no crybaby. So if that means that I got to work my way back, then I'm a man and I'm going to do that.
Do you feel that Benavidez fight would ever happen because you guys kind of have the same manager in Louis DeCubas?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fight that I want. That's a fight that I've been wanting. And, I know that there's been like speculation that him and his team sent me and my team, some type of negotiation. But it's like we got the same manager, Louis DeCubas, and we got the same advisor, Al Heyman. And he's also got a good promoter with Samson. And it's like, if he has those three great people in his corner who are able to negotiate for him and make big fights for him, then what makes y'all think that it's Jose Sr. who's calling the shots on that team? oh, well, me and David, we sent him. You didn't send no offer because you ain't making no offers. You're his coach. He's got 3 great people, some of the best in boxing, on his team to do that. And as far as the fight with Lemieux goes, he's had that fight signed since a month after me and Canelo's fight. And what type of fight is that? Him and Lemieux. What fight is it? Do you know what type of fight that is?
Not one that I was asking for, I'll tell you that.
It's a title
Eliminator.
Win. It's a what?
For WBC. Eliminator.
So if he wins, then what does that mean?
Well, technically, he would be next in line for whoever's the WBC champion at 68.
And who's that?
As of right now, Canelo Alvarez.
Okay, so if he wins this fight and then he can get that opportunity, which he's been crying for, then why would we be fighting next? You get what I'm saying?
Because he may not get it.
Well, if he don't, then let's make it happen. But as of now, his plan is to fight Canelo next, hopefully, if he can make that happen. So why would he be sending me offers and negotiations? Why wouldn't he see if he can make that work first? And if it don't work, then he send me something, right? So there was no offer. There was no negotiation. Me and Luis the Cubist got on the phone and talked about it. He's like, these dudes are lying. So, I don't know what to say, but that's a fight that I want to make happen. And like I said, if I got to do a fight or two to get back up there, then that's what I'm going to do. And but if I can get that fight ASAP, then that's what I want to do as well.
Who do you have on your mind for a comeback fight?
We got a couple of people on the table right now that we're looking at, but I'm gonna let them do their job and I'm gonna do my job, and my job is to train and fight. So that's what I'm best at. I'm gonna stick to that. But the biggest fight that I can get coming back, that's the fight that I want. For sure. I do like the Charlo fight, man. Obviously he's got to move up. But there is another dark horse in the division that people have been pitting all of you against. What's your thoughts on David Morrell, another Louis DeCubas managed fighter? David Morrell, he's
the WBA regular now.
Okay.
At 68, so he's another person technically in line.
Okay, yeah. Hey, that's a great fight as well. So,
have you watched him fight? He's Cuban.
No, I haven't really seen many of his fights. I think I seen him. I went to Minnesota once. I think he fights there some.
Yes.
So I might have seen him live one time, but other than that, I really don't know much about him.
So what's your thoughts, man? You've shared the ring with Canelo Alvarez. Now he's moving up to 75, taking on Dimitri Bivol.
What do I think about that fight?
Absolutely. Your breakdown. Is it too much? Because he started his career at 140 pounds. This guy just keeps bouncing around. And Dimitri is a pretty decent fighter, holds a lot of good names under his resume. Lenin Castillo, Joe Smith Jr., who just became world champion again. John Pascal. I would have to use BoxRec, but there's a few more on there, man. He's not bad at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Have you watched him fight?
I've seen some of his highlights, but I never really watched and broke down a fight. But I know he's got kind of a European in and out style and a lot of straight punches in and out. So, but I don't know. That's for them to figure out. And the great thing about boxing, we're gonna figure it out here real soon when the bell rings. So, that's for them to figure out.
But the size, you don't think that's? You've been in there with him. Like, isn't he short?
Are you asking me if he's short? He's short, yeah. Shorter.
Isn't he small? Do you think he would be small for 175? Because it is another division above.
I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? He's moving up. They're going to figure it out here soon. And, I'm not one to tell somebody what they can and can't do. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't in front of me, then it don't got much to do with me.
Understandable. So, man, what could I get this man to comment on? Have you heard the rumor that Crawford may be signing to the PBC?
I know there's been some back and forth, rumbles to that, here recently and, for a little bit. So, I don't know what's real and what's not. But, if that's what he plans on doing, that could be a great move for him.
Do you think that's good for boxing?
If, he can come over here and get some of those big, 147-pound fights, then obviously that's going to be great for boxing. I would love that.
Would you give us your take if the Crawford winner of Earl Spence Ugas happens? Because, that's what everybody wants. That'll be undisputed.
I think whether it's Earl or Ugas, either one of those three getting in the ring with each other, that's going to be a great fight, so.
Do you know Ugas on a personal level since he's out here in Vegas?
Yeah, he signed Luis as well.
Yeah, I know. He's trained with Salas as well out here, so just figure maybe you probably shared the gym with him once or twice, maybe.
We've been around each other.
Cool. Damn, we can't get you to make a prediction, huh, Caleb? Staying down the middle.
I mean, Errol, he's been somebody that I've been around for a long time with the Olympic team and nationals and stuff like that, and he's a dog. You feel what I'm saying? His work ethic is bar none. His mentality is bar none. His ability is bar none. But I mean, Ugas is on a roll, and he's obviously turned his career around and on a great path as well. So I think that's a great fight for boxing, and I think when the bell rings, the fans are going to win. So
I don't know if you caught Earl's latest interview, which obviously shook up the boxing world. I mean, it all started from Mike Tyson, right? He had Jamal Charlo on his Hot Boxing podcast. They were obviously talking about Benavidez, calling him the Mexican monster. And then he said he would like to see Earl move up to 54 and face Charlo's brother, Jermell. So obviously Jamal tells Mike, look, they train by the same trainer. They're friends. Mike's like, I don't care. That's the whole point, People want to see that. So yesterday, Earl was asked the same question, and his answer was, if the money is right, why not? He said, if we're friends, we're supposed to break bread together. So it sounds like he wouldn't mind fighting Jermell. Mm-hmm. How do you think that plays out? Obviously, they know each other, kind of like when Jacobs and Derevyanchenko had a fight. They shared trainers, and before that eliminator fight, they parted ways so that they could fight, but they knew each other. Mm-hmm. Until this date, I think Jacobs has probably had the best win over Selecki, or one with the less difficulty, right? Like everyone else had a little more difficulty with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're training partners, but I think, I don't think Charlo wants none of Earl.
Earl. Wow. Yeah. And would you do that if you were in that position? Would you fight?
I don't have friends in boxing.
So any stablemate.
I don't have friends in boxing.
Yeah, so any stablemate would be on the table. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting, man. Interesting. Do you consider that a big fight if Earl were to move up to fight Jermell Charlo?
Big on paper, yeah.
Oh, wow. So you think it's that easy for Earl?
If that's what you're asking me, yeah, I think that's easy for Earl.
How high you see Earl Spence moving up? Like before he taps out?
I don't know. We're cool. We talk here and there, but to be honest, I couldn't tell you that. I wouldn't be able to know.
Are you familiar with Jaron Ennis?
Yep.
So his infamous quote is, he's going to undispute 47, 54, 60. Obviously, the world believes he's super talented. Do you think he can get up that high? And politically, would those dreams be able to be accomplished, being as though how difficult it is to undispute each division?
I mean, it might be hard politically, just to get all the belts on one side, or, make a big enough, for there to be two big enough stars for networks to collide and come together, kind of like on a Wilder Fury type deal, or something like that. So I'm not sure, but I'm not ever going to tell somebody what they can and can't become. So if that's his goals and that's his dreams and that's what him and his pops got set, their eyes set on, that's what they need to chase. That's what they need to go after.
Well, let me introduce you to my co-host Ringwalk Danny. You probably seen him in the gyms before interviewing everybody. Vegas traffic got him caught up. What up, Danny?
What up, champ? How you feeling, man? Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, jump in, brother.
No, I mean, I was listening to a lot of what you guys were talking about, obviously, so I mean, kind of covered a lot.
Yeah. I do want to double back, though, because I didn't ask specifically, do you think those were illegal kidney shots from Canelo to you?
No, I'm not going to cry and complain about none of that. So if the ref felt like there's nothing for me to cry and complain about, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get stopped with no kidney shot.
Right.
So what's there to, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's a fight, so.
Gotcha.
Now, did you guys talk about, I heard the Canelo Bivol.
Yeah. It's hard to get a prediction.
I know, right?
only one he's definitely picking is Earl. Like, it looks like he believes Earl's going to be very dominant.
But in that specific Charlo fight, I feel like that's in that fight. Yes, I know he's got a tough fight on his hands with Ugas, and he knows he does, and he's speaking in that manner and during the press conferences. But as far as the Ugas and Errol fight, that's a good fight, and we're gonna see what happens.
As far as the star attraction, you being in there with Canelo, having gone through a fight week with him, do you really believe he's the biggest attraction in the sport? I mean, obviously, Fury's up there, AJ's up there, Tank is up there. As far as attraction, did you feel that way from what you saw?
I'd probably say so, yeah.
Only reason I asked because tickets went on sale today for himself and Bivol.
I hear there's only 1,700 left.
Yeah, there was only 1,700 left as of like an hour or two ago. And I saw that, obviously, that yells a star attraction, but I just wanted to see. I wasn't in your shoes, so
yeah,
just kind of see what you felt.
No, I'd say so. As far as the fight week that we had, there was a lot going on, but nothing that really pulled me out of character. It got me feeling like, man, this is too much, or I'm in over my head. I felt like I was supposed to be there. I handled everything like I was supposed to be there, and but it was a big week, a lot going on.
Definitely a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
We were there, obviously for the fight. I've heard Nestor ask, how big do you think this guy can get, that guy can get? How big do you think you can get as far as your career? You're still very young, and you have a nice size for 68.
Yeah, I mean, I might cap off at 75, but honestly, there's no issue for me to make weight at 68. Never been an issue, and, I'm going to make sure that I got the things in place and doing the things that I need to be doing so that it doesn't become an issue. And, I was just talking in the other room. We was doing an interview, and, one of the biggest talents in boxing that I felt like is lost is discipline. Discipline's a talent, too. It's
Absolutely.
a talent that you can cultivate and work on as well and shape and mold. So, that's something I feel like I got on my side in comparison to a lot of these guys out here, is the discipline that I carry, not just during camp or pre-camp, but, year-round, making sure I'm staying on what I need to be staying on, doing what I need to be doing, and just, not messing things up.
Why do you think that's an issue? Or do you feel that's always been an issue, like in the sport, as far as fighters lacking that discipline, maybe touching a certain level of success and losing that hunger?
I think, with any professional sport, you're going to get there's going to be a big number of athletes who do it to become financially stable. And then they become financially stable. And so since they've captured what they wanted, they may not have the same type of focus or intensity for, the sport that they're in that they once had. And but I don't really do this for money. I don't really do boxing. I'm not here to be like a famous or a superstar. I love the sport of boxing. I love I just love the sport in general. And so money is not my reason why. I have other reasons why. But if money is your reason why, once you obtain that, might be hard for you to keep that same intensity.
I got you. Really quick, I don't know how much more you have.
Well, yeah, let me get a screen share real quick, George. So, obviously, last week, March 14th, rumors broke that Keller Plant versus Anthony Dirrell was supposedly in talks and could be next. But then Dirrell came out on my very own comment section and said this, no, it hasn't. I don't know who's telling y'all this, but don't listen to them. So, yeah. What's your thoughts on this Dirrell fight? Is that a true possibility?
I mean, it's a possibility, yeah. So, there's a couple names on the table that we're trying to work on and get figured out. And I'm looking to get the biggest name, biggest fight that I can get on my way back, and then take it up from there. So, he's definitely on the list.
Was he offered to you?
Yeah, that's a fight that we're trying to make, but there's other people on the list as well that we're trying to make happen. So whatever the best fight we can make, that's the one that we're gonna make.
And this would be the fight that you're talking about coming back to in June sometime. One of them, rather.
Say that again.
He's asking, is the Dirrell fight, would that be for the comeback?
Yeah, because you said maybe you're back in June.
Yeah, that's one of the potential opponents.
Oh wow! So that's not no tune-up, Chan. I mean, maybe to you. I remember one time I told Keith Thurman that Vargas wasn't. He's like, well, that's a tune-up to me. So I don't know. I wouldn't consider that. Anthony Dirrell, former world champion. A tune-up or an easy fight at all.
Yeah, regardless of who it is, I'm like I said, I'm trying to make the biggest fight right off the bat, and if that's if that's the one that works out, then that's what I'm gonna do, and then go on to bigger and better from there. If it's somebody else, then so be it. But like I said, trying to make the biggest, best fights, happen out there.
And how do you think you match up with him? You're definitely younger. I think he's 37. We just were talking about him this week.
Like, do I think that he can fuck with me? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Nah, he can't fuck with me on any level.
He is the dog.
I don't give a fuck what he is.
And he's been showing he's still got that pop.
Did you see Mike Tyson said that's who he wanted Jamal Charlo
he was
to make his debut at 68 with?
Yeah, he kept saying the dog.
The dog.
Word.
Champ, just kind of curious because...
Well, he can't fuck with me, period. So that's what I'm telling you.
I would love to see that fight.
I was kind of curious. You're very into fashion. Just kind of wondering what 3 kicks are you rocking in your rotation, kind of feeling right now?
Probably the black off-white dunks that I got on. I got a pair of 86 Jordans, the rehab shoe that Michael Jordan, he broke his foot, Nike made him a rehab shoe to give him a little extra support. I have a pair of those. That's probably my biggest grail. And then I got some Chrome Heart Chuck Taylors. That's probably like my
the Chrome Heart Chuck Taylor. That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
What about the music? What's in your, a couple artists you're playing?
What
right
you playing
now?
in that low rider?
Everything, but I'm real big on Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine. Those are my boys. I feel like that they're going crazy in the rap game right now, and especially Conway. Me and him that's my boy right there. That's my brother, and he walked me out for the Canelo fight actually, and so big ups to Conway and Benny, the whole Griselda team really, and D Smoke, he's cold, Nipsey, Don Tripp from Tennessee, Young Dolph from Tennessee, bunch of people from Tennessee. We got a big Tennessee playlist.
Speaking of Tennessee, I hate to bring it back there, but I was just there, and I know a few people there that they've been throwing shows, man. When are you planning to go back? Do you think you can get a hometown fight in Tennessee? Because there is a boxing scene out there.
Yeah, we took one back to Tennessee in 2020 right before the pandemic hit. Everybody showed up, great energy. The crowd was going crazy. So, as soon as we're able to bring one back, I'd love to bring one back. Or, with this comeback fight, whether it's a main event or being on the, maybe the co-main of a huge pay-per-view, I would love any of those opportunities. So,
yeah, I was just in Murfreesboro. That's where I had found my vet at. So I had flew out there to get it. And like I said, I got a couple people out there that throw promotions from TriStar Promotions. So they do shows in Tennessee. It's a big, little, pretty popular fight scene out there, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think I'm pretty much done with all my questions. No need to keep you any longer, champ. We do appreciate you stopping by, man. Hopefully next time we can get a heads up so we can be prepared for you. But it's a pleasure. I'm living here in Vegas now. Hopefully you do stop by a little more whenever you want to get anything off your chest. And you can bring your wife by as well. Maybe we can do an interview with her as well.
Absolutely. She's big up to Jordan, doing her thing with Fox, reporting and everything, getting on pay-per-views, big-time Fox shows. So she's doing her thing. I'm proud of her.
Absolutely, man.
You tune in every time, huh? It seems like you don't miss anytime she covers a fight. I see you post on your story and things like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I support everything that she's got going on, and, proud of her. She's not just somebody out there just, a pretty face. She really knows her stuff. She really knows boxing. She's in the gym every day with me, whether it's sparring or strength and conditioning, running, whatever the situation may be. So she really knows what she's talking about, and she's got real respect for the fighters and what they do. So.
Yeah, I seen that part in the build-up to the you and Canelo fight where she was obviously working out with you. Yeah, and they informed us that was something that you guys have been doing for a while, and that she's actually used to run, right?
Oh yeah, Division I 100-meter hurdler. So I mean,
did she train with Coach Larry Wade as well? Because I know he's big into.
He was her coach. So wow. Full ride to a Division I.
So is that how you guys met, through training with him, or was you knew her before that?
Me and her was talking, you know what I'm saying, and then later on, after we were together and stuff, she was telling me about Coach Wade, and I was like, I knew that he had worked with Sean Porter and Badu Jack, and there's obviously good results with what they had going on. So. I just approached him and told him, like, Really what happened is I told him, I was like, you gonna want to work with me. I'm gonna be a world champion. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah, you gonna want to work with me. And then I was like, what is Sean doing? What is Badu doing when it comes to these workouts? And I was like, well, tell them that's about to be old news because I'm about to be going through all that. So Coach Wade, you know, great strength and conditioning coach, really puts a lot into his athletes. And shout out to Sean and Badu, you know, for everything they've accomplished in boxing. And so.
Yeah, man, he did a fantastic job with Luis Ortiz. That one training camp, he transformed him.
That as well, yeah.
Yeah, but once again, man, those are all our questions. If you want to give out your social media for anybody who hasn't been following you, can do so. And thank you again for your time.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Just follow me at Caleb Plant. Stay tuned. A lot of cool things on the way. A lot of big fights on the way. And, you know, last but not least, like I said, if I have to clear out the rest of the division to get my rematch, that's what I'm going to do.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, man, everybody got me on audio. I thought you was going to pull it off, man. I was out here waving my Caleb Plant flag. So if you could get back into a rematch, that would be a good thing, man.
Absolutely, I will.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to...
For the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Untitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.